Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Today's the big day for Donald Trump. He will be placed under arrest today.
What a country.
And informed that he has been charged with 34 felony counts for falsification of business records.
How did that news get out, by the way?
Yeah, well, they leaked it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, they leaked it.
I'm sure someone will go to jail then for that, right?
It's a sealed indictment, and yet somehow we know there's 34 felony counts. Yeah, nobody's going to go to jail for that. They sure should. In fact, Trump said, well, he should indict himself now. Do the right thing and indict yourself. Yeah, that would be nice. That's not going to happen, but that would be nice. What they have granted him, because he's a former president, and there's a Secret Service issue here. You know, are you gonna put Donald Trump in jail? And what is the Secret Service, who has to be with him all the time to protect him? What are they going to do? Wait outside the jail while somebody, harms him inside? No. So they've agreed not to do a mug shot.
Okay.
And they've agreed that he will not spend any time in jail.
Okay. I just feel, though, that if you put him in general population, he could handle himself.
You think so?
Like, I think that he would end up running the place within about 3 hours.
Yeah, he might. Yeah, he might. Of course, there could be somebody who hates his guts in there. Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably likely. New York City police arrest report summarizing the charges against Trump will then be prepared and entered into the court system before he's led into a courtroom to be formally arraigned. None of these charges are misdemeanors. Why? They all should have been, by the way. They all are. But the DA bumped him up to felonies.
This guy.
Alvin Bragg. He's the worst.
Yep.
He's just hideous.
If you do something serious, your charges get brought down in severity.
Yeah.
And if you do something minor, then they get...
Did you see that violent crime is up, I don't know, 20 or 30% in New York City under his watchful eye?
Now, let me tease something that I'm sure you're going to share with us later in the show. Yesterday, you had mentioned that, I don't know if it was in the regular show or overtime, you were going to give us the top 10 places to live or something. I bet it's New York City. Can we spoiler alert?
I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
But they may not be number one.
Oh, they may not be.
It may not be number one.
May not be.
Yeah,
wow.
Just a little bit of a hint.
Curveball.
I don't want to give away too much, but I'm going to say they're not number one.
Yeah.
So this all stems, we think, from the $130,000 hush money to Stormy Daniels. But we don't know that for a fact. Everybody just assumes. I mean, what else is it? And then the resulting supposed cover-up of that money and where it came from. Did it come from campaign funds? Did it come from some business expenditure? Who knows? So, they're throwing everything they possibly can at the wall just to see what sticks against Donald Trump. And now they have indicted a former U.S. president. He's going to have that stain on him. As we mentioned yesterday, he's got the stain of 2 impeachments. And now the only U.S. president to ever be indicted after his presidency.
Badge of honor, honestly.
I think that's how he's going to see it.
Yeah. And trivia question, trivia answer,
What Bragg was trying to accomplish here, I think, was that he would be excluded from office or running from office because of this. That would be my guess. I think he's really trying to keep him from being president.
Yeah. And
it's just not going to work.
And later today, we'll play some audio from the current president that very much supports that. I've got a question. If you're a Trump supporter and you're in Manhattan right now, why are you there? Why are you there even to show support? You are walking into a trap.
Yeah, for sure.
If January 6th taught you nothing, it's don't go to these blue cities where they are going to find a way to ruin your life. I see these people out there, and you got to wonder.
Have people come from all over the place
to
support him? Jeez, I just, that could go ugly. Please don't.
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah. Just if you're there for this and you just want to make your feelings heard, that's great. But remember, January 6th and the way they've used that for the last 2 years.
I kid you not. They might grab people for jaywalking.
Yeah, they could.
And ruin your life.
Yeah, they could.
It's a dangerous place to be right now if you're a Trump supporter.
So, according to the article, the charge of falsification of business records can be prosecuted in New York State as a misdemeanor, but Bragg's office bumped up all the charges. What a surprise. To Class E felonies, the lowest level of felonies in the New York State Penal Code, on the grounds that the conduct was intended to conceal another underlying crime. And that underlying crime was, of course, the hush money. I don't know how that's a crime, but I guess if he used campaign funds, then, you can make it into a crime. The evidence for the underlying crime that escalated Trump's alleged misdemeanors to felonies, still not clear, and won't be until the indictment is unsealed later today. But it is believed to relate to the $130,000 in hush money to porn star Stormy Daniels, who, by the way, continues to, as far as I know, I've never seen her say, well, yeah, they did pay me $130,000. She continues to deny that hush money was even paid to her. Right? So
yeah, I haven't heard an update on that.
Yeah, I haven't heard her change that statement. As far as I know, she continues to deny that she was paid $130,000 in hush money. And she doesn't act like she was paid $130,000 in hush money because she hasn't been hushed. So it's a mess. I mean, it's a ridiculous Banana Republic mess.
It's embarrassing.
It's absolutely embarrassing. And it's just another one of the things that, if we don't get a grip on this, it's going to bring this country down. This is just typical of a third world country. This is like, Zimbabwe all of a sudden. And it's pathetic. And yet the Democrats are proud of it. Yeah, they love it. They can't get enough of the persecution of Donald Trump. I was reading in some of the comments underneath the story, and, of course, the Trump haters. One of them simply said, yes! Really? You're excited about that?
How pathetic that your life revolves around
I know.
whether or not Trump rises or falls. That's pathetic. Says more about you.
And then, of course, you've got the people who are saying because he's not going to have the mugshots and he's not going to go to jail. See, there's a double standard of... Really?
Oh, God.
Hunter Biden.
Oh, my gosh.
Douchebags.
Joe Biden. Oh, man.
There's a guy who should be carted out of the White House in leg irons. I mean, that guy has done so much to warrant his arrest. And yet, it's all ignored. I mean, the payments from the Chinese, nobody even cares about that. That's already swept under the rug. We've already forgotten about that. Don't even worry about that. Now we've got this dumb hush money situation from Trump when the Biden family it's proven by bank statements that they made $1 million from and I mean, that's just scratching the surface. That's just what we know about so far.
This is going to involve some speculation, and we'll see how the day plays out in court. But and no recording devices allowed by the judge either in there. I think maybe cameras. I forget. Still shut. I'm not sure. But very limited. But ultimately, do you think that because this is going to go on for a while? Like there's going to be future court dates. I mean, this is going to stretch into next year. During the election cycle.
Right, which is bizarre.
And which is going to be very bizarre to see. Do you think ultimately this helps or hurts Donald Trump?
I think it helps him to win the nomination.
Nomination?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is going to fire up his base a lot. And, that might calm down, though, by the time the election rolls around. But right now, I think it's good for him. I think this is just galvanizing his support.
Fundraising, was it over $7 million in 3 days since the...
Yep, $7 million. So it's not hurting his campaign at all.
That's true.
I mean, it's just people, all right, you're going to treat him this way? Good. We're just going to support him even more solidly.
What's the Star Wars line? Strike me down?
Yeah, you make me more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
I think that's where we're at right now.
It really is.
Yeah.
Really is. So anyway, should be interesting. Again, I read another article that must have been published before the announcement that there was going to be no mugshot. Because it was the headline on it was, "Will Donald Trump's mugshot be the defining photo of this century so far?" No, because there's not going to be one.
See, I don't know.
So,
if you're him, I can see why you wouldn't want that mugshot out there, because the left will just love it.
Yeah.
But the right would wear it as a badge of honor.
Yeah,
it would be on clothing, merchandise,
Facebook pages.
That would be profile
Twitter.
pictures.
It would.
For so many people.
Yep.
I'm kind of torn on the whole mugshot thing.
I kind of am too. And I'll bet he is as well.
Yeah. How can I make some money off of this? Yeah. I bet they had that discussion.
He'd probably make $70 million in 3 days off the mugshot. It would be good. Seriously, I think it would be good for his campaign. But, there's not going to be one. So we'll see. The other guy that currently occupies the White House, he had another great day. Because, he's sharp as a tack. We all know that.
That's true.
He is sharp as a tack.
We hold these truths to be self-evident.
Yeah.
All men and women created by you know the thing.
You know the thing. You didn't have to say the thing because you know it.
Just hold on. He said that. That was early in his presidency, that line, right?
Yes.
Just think, in 2 years' time from when he said that, not only did he screw up the line, but...
He did it twice, by the way.
They can't define what a woman is anymore on that side of the aisle.
Yeah, right.
I mean...
No, they cannot. We're going to play for you later on. We do have the video, don't we, of the New Zealand Prime Minister? He was asked what a woman is. You just can't believe this. What a world.
What a world.
Man. New Zealand, Australia, and Canada, though, are already gone. They're just gone. So it's interesting to watch the total destruction and annihilation of Western countries like that due to wokeism and progressivism. But yesterday, Joe Biden was as coherent as ever.
Plus, my economic plan is building more clean energy future made in America. No, made in America.
What?
Wait.
I'm sorry.
What did he just... What was the last thing he said? Play that again. What does he say?
My economic plan is building more clean energy future made in America.
Okay.
No, made in America.
No.
Okay, so his clean energy future is building...
Is made in America.
Is made in America.
Not... Okay.
Not... And then was the last one... Not
clean
made
energy
in American?
Future made in America. No, made in America.
Not forever.
He does that, though. He does. It's wow. But there's nothing wrong with him. This guy is healthier than any 80-year-old's ever been. In fact, he's got the mind of a 20-year-old, this guy. Ask his doctor. He is in phenomenal shape. Cognitive test. Why would you give him that? Look how brilliant this man is. Are you kidding me? We're not giving him any cognitive tests. There's no reason for that.
Yeah.
Play it one more time, just to show you how sharp he is. Love this.
Plus, my economic plan is building more clean energy future made in America. No, made in America.
Not forever.
What?
Hashtag not forever.
No.
But yeah, I mean, that blows by his green energy future made in America line. Like he screws that up too.
Ugh. He's got no idea what he's saying.
So bad. It's
so bad.
Life.
He also discussed internet access and pulling up near a McDonald's?
Yeah, well, he's doing this. This is becoming the Kevlar vest line.
No, jeez.
He's doing this. Have you ever, enlighten us, have you ever pulled up to a McDonald's so your kid could do homework? I mean, this is...
What?
Yeah. Well, he's done this a lot. He's done this a lot.
All right.
And these investments being, by the way, you moms and dads who didn't have that internet available to you, next time your kid has to do homework online, you don't have to pull up in front of a McDonald's and work off their power. I'm not joking.
Wait,
What?
hold on.
You should be joking,
Online, you
because
don't
that's
have
just...
to pull up in front of a McDonald's and work off their power. I'm not joking.
Work off their
work
power.
off their power. Yeah.
It's called Wi-Fi, bro.
Oh, the number of times that I've pulled up to a McDonald's with my kids and worked off their power, because we didn't have any power at home. So we drove immediately, like everybody else does, directly to McDonald's.
Yeah.
Now, some people go to Burger King, but we went to McDonald's every time. Every single time.
It's cleaner energy.
At McDonald's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's more powerful power.
Because your flame broiled power... It's got a different
Sometimes
vibe.
that's unreliable. It tastes better, but it's unreliable. Wow, that's crazy.
He is the definition of out of touch.
Play that again. These are amazing little clips. Amazing.
And these investments being, by the way, you moms and dads who didn't have that internet available to you, next time your kid has to do homework online, you don't have to pull up in front of a McDonald's and work off their power. I'm not joking.
He's not joking.
Not a single, nobody even came close to laughing at it, because nobody thinks that's a joke. Well, you don't have to qualify that every time, because you're not funny.
What we need is a deer and Kevlar vest story pulling up so that the little does can do their homework off of the power.
Off the power. He can't even say internet.
Or Wi-Fi,
Or Wi-Fi.
He sucks at everything.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Everything.
All right. Let me tell you about Factor. This spring, you need nutritious, convenient meals to energize you for, warmer, active days, keep you on track, reaching your goals. Factor is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. You're going to love this. My family does. It can help you fuel up fast with ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, you'll eat well, and tackle everything on your to-do list. You don't have to go out shopping for the ingredients. You don't have to finish cooking it. It's already done for you. You just heat it up, and it's delicious. So, if you're looking for calorie-conscious options this spring, you can try their delicious dietitian-approved Calorie Smart meals with around or less than 550 calories per serving. They offer delicious, flavor-packed options on the menu every week to fit a variety of lifestyles. You could do keto, you can do the Calorie Smart, vegan, veggie, protein plus, any of those options. Prepared by chefs, approved by dietitians, each meal has all the ingredients you need to feel satisfied all day long. Really delicious. Again, my family loves this stuff, and I know you will too. It's convenient, it's fast, and it's delicious. So head to factormeals.com/Pat50. Use the promo code Pat50, and you'll get 50% off your first box. That's code Pat50 at factormeals.com/Pat50, and you'll get 50% off your first box.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
So earlier, you know how you had mentioned, it looks like this whole Trump indictment thing is just meant to keep him from running for office ever again.
Right.
And, the Marxist mouthpiece, Joe Biden, yesterday, he went off script.
Oh.
And effectively did exactly what you just said, admitted the truth about this whole Trump indictment in New York.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We just have to demonstrate that he will not take power if he does run, making sure he, under legitimate efforts of our Constitution, does not become the next president again.
There you go. Okay.
Isn't that fascinating?
And that's from November, not yesterday. I apologize. I misspoke.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so you take that clip from November, juxtapose it with today.
Yep. And you've got your reason. Mm-hmm. You have the reason for what they're doing. They're so afraid of him. and they hate him so much that they're preemptively trying to destroy him. Wow. I think it's really going to backfire on him.
They're so afraid of Donald Trump, and I love it.
Big time.
I love having someone on our side
I do too.
that the left is so afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
Because my entire life, since my childhood, since Reagan was president, nobody on the right has drawn the fear from the left until Donald Trump.
That's for sure. It's interesting. I mean, out of all the people and all the candidates and, all the really quality orators of our time and in our lives, this is the guy who has stepped up because he doesn't care. Mm-hmm. He doesn't care about political correctness in any way. And he's just not afraid to just let it fly. I mean, if he thinks you're a pig, he's going to call you a pig. I mean, it's...
And every state needs a governor like that.
Yeah.
Every... I tell you, there's a blueprint there. And not everyone can pull it off, but boy, if you can.
I'm not sure anybody can pull it off, but him.
That's fair, yeah. Yeah.
He might be the only one.
Yeah.
I don't really know how that happened. It just did. I guess because, he's lived a life where he just doesn't care. And he's always been outspoken like this and straightforward. I mean, long before he ran for president, he had the deal with Rosie O'Donnell. And he just blatantly spoke his mind about her. He just said what most people were actually thinking. So then yesterday he arrived at Trump Tower ahead of surrendering to authorities today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We have video of that?
No, we don't.
We don't?
Yeah. Sorry.
All right.
But we have, I don't even know why we need a new president, though. I mean, isn't Biden doing a heck of a job, right?
Doing
a great job. Did you see the spy balloon? We got some information on that yesterday, which was fun.
No, really?
Oh, yeah. In fact, you could pull this. I was surprised. Every single outlet was speaking the truth about what that Chinese spy balloon was doing. In fact, even CNN. Okay. CNN gave us some information here.
When this Chinese spy balloon was kind of transiting across the United States back in February, it was able to capture some images as well as collect some signals intelligence from some sensitive U.S. military installations. Now, U.S. intelligence officials are not overly concerned because they say that this was not much more than what a regular Chinese satellite that is constantly orbiting above these same sites could potentially collect. But at the same time, we are learning that this Chinese spy balloon actually was able to transmit this data back in real time to the Chinese government, and that the Chinese government had the capability to remotely erase the data that the Chinese spy balloon was collecting. So that raises questions about whether the U.S. government actually knows the full extent of what the balloon was able to gather. Because obviously now the U.S. government has been analyzing it in the FBI lab in Quantico, Virginia, and they have some sense of what the balloon was able to gather. But the possibility remains that there is much more that it was able to collect that the U.S. simply doesn't know about because Beijing was able to remotely erase it.
Huh. Well, that doesn't sound favorable to the Biden administration.
Man, we are a stupid government.
Oh my.
So can we go over the track of the balloon here? This is I don't know if you can see this.
Brilliantly drawn.
Thank you.
Brilliantly.
This is Canada here. You can see.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is Alaska here, and then this is the lower 48. Remember when that balloon came in here and it went across Alaska, and then it doubled back? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I just remember it curved back. That should have been a sign, you think, to somebody in the upper levels of our government, like, wow, this thing isn't just drifting along.
Maybe we should do something about it.
I swear, these people, America last, man. America last. And
what a stunning surprise that it actually took photos of sensitive areas in our country.
And then when it went across the lower 48, it, of course, went over sensitive military bases and equipment.
Wow.
And picked up radio signals or whatever it was being emitted from the ground. I mean, this is...
I thought it was just a weather balloon, frankly.
Did?
I thought they were just measuring barometric pressure.
Self-destructing.
I thought they were really curious about humidity levels and the dew point in the United States.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what it's like in winter over the United States. Is the weather there different than it is here? I think that's what they were doing.
That's what it was. That's what they were.
And then they accidentally took some photos of sensitive military installations
that could transmit in real time back to China.
But don't worry about it.
And could erase their what they gathered from the balloon if they needed to.
But so?
Picked up electronic signals from
and
the
once
ground.
again, we wouldn't even know about any of this if it weren't for the guy in Montana who saw the weather balloon and said, hey, what is that? What's that floating above, I don't know, an American state right now that shouldn't be there? Huh.
Yeah, and for the longest time, I don't even know if you want to play this. I guess it's a minute 37. We have a montage of the Biden administration officials telling us time and time and time and time again, oh, it's no big deal. Don't worry about that thing. We're good.
Let's see that.
Once we detected the balloon, the U.S. government acted immediately to protect against the collection of sensitive information.
That's a lie.
Pause it for a second.
To take
acted immediately after 8 days?
That's a lie from the general who reported it to the White House. They did nothing.
Absolute lie. All right, let's hear the rest.
necessary steps to protect against foreign intelligence collection of sensitive information.
The U.S. has stated that steps were taken to prevent any problems in terms of intelligence collection.
We were also able to ensure the protection of any sensitive information that the balloon would not be able to collect against us.
We protected against Chinese intelligence collection, we protected civilians, and we gained more intel while protecting our own sensitive information.
The Biden-Harris administration responded swiftly to protect Americans and safeguard against the balloon's collection of sensitive information.
Protecting our own sensitive intelligence and maximizing our ability to track the balloon.
We were able to take steps at sensitive military sites that we believed would be along the flight path to significantly curtail any intelligence ability that the Chinese could get from the balloon.
We were able to protect our security data on the ground.
We were able to protect sensitive sites against collection.
We spotted it. We took action to protect sensitive information on the ground that it was attempting to surveil. The balloon attempted to surveil very critical, important military installations.
Read it.
We protected the sensitive information that it was trying to surveil.
We protected our national security information on the ground.
Surely and certainly that balloon was not helpful.
It won't.
Balloon was not helpful. Oh, she was good at the end there.
She's brilliant.
She's so good.
Wait, the balloon wasn't helpful? Because I think it was designed to be, wasn't it?
Right.
Wasn't it designed to help us here in the U.S.?
The balloon only gave us can you believe it? Only gave us a 5-day forecast. The people demand at least a 10-day forecast. These people suck and they lie.
Oh my gosh. And such obvious lies. It floated above the country for, what was it? Was it 8 days? Or was it, I don't know. It was almost a week at least. And they didn't do anything about it until it was clear across the country. So what do you mean you acted immediately to protect sensitive information?
Well, they had to call China to make sure they got everything they needed. You good now?
Yeah. You guys get the sensitive shots that you wanted?
Okay. Because we're going to shoot it down now. We just want to make sure you're done transmitting all your data.
Yeah. Did it send it all back to you? And we got to make sure you deleted everything so that if we get any fragments, it's not helpful to us. So you might want to do that right now.
Yeah, why did we shoot the payload? Why did we hit the balloon?
Why? Why indeed?
Almost like we're a puppet regime.
It's almost
for
like
China.
that. It's almost like that.
It's really starting to feel like that. I posited the thought on Twitter yesterday that it wouldn't be surprising if at some point in the future China convinced Joe Biden to send troops into Taiwan to just at their behest. That's what it feels like. It feels like every move is orchestrated by the CCP. I'm so sick of this crap, man.
It's there's no words. There's just no words. Wow. 888-900-3393. We got some brilliant thoughts from Nancy Pelosi coming up.
Oh.
Also, Disney. Did they outsmart Ron DeSantis a bit?
Oh,
man. Share that with you, too. Coming up. montage, I don't know, it's affected me more than usual even. The montage of Democrat lies. where they're saying, we moved to protect our national security interests immediately. Every person in this country who has eyes to see and ears to hear knows that stinking Chinese spy balloon floated from Alaska all the way to the East Coast. What do you mean you moved immediately to protect our sensitive areas? You did nothing.
Absolutely.
For days. It's not like that thing was a rocket traveling 8,000 miles an hour. It was floating above this country for days.
And they were laughing in Beijing.
Oh, yeah.
Just laughing.
Oh, my gosh.
Can you believe this? Who had shot down off the coast of South Carolina? You just won the Beijing office pool.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. And even their general that testified in front of Congress says they didn't do anything. He reported up to the chain of command and never heard back given an order. And the public didn't know about it, as you said, until the guy in Montana goes, what the heck is that? The Biden administration was hoping it would just pass over, do whatever they wanted to do in China, and no one would know about it down here. What a grotesque administration.
Oh, geez. Just lying sacks. And so blatant and obvious about it. And all they can talk about is, well, Donald Trump was a liar. Why didn't you care then? Well, we did. We did care. And I can't even think right now of what he lied about, but right. He certainly isn't above telling a tall tale from time to time. But this guy lies incessantly, every day, relentlessly. He and his minions, all through the administration, do nothing but look us right in the face and lie. Every day.
Election fraud has consequences.
That's for sure. Also, Nancy Pelosi said yesterday, with a straight face, that Vladimir Putin wanted to help Joe Biden win.
Or no, Donald Trump win.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that right? Okay.
Yeah, you wrote Joe Biden.
Typed it up wrong.
Because he was so afraid of Hillary, he wanted Donald Trump to win.
Right, that's right.
Okay.
Is there anybody that thinks that Vladimir Putin would be in Ukraine if Donald Trump were still president?
No.
Okay.
No, absolutely not. But here's what Nancy had to say.
When Secretary Clinton was in the Senate and First Lady, but especially as Secretary of State in more recent time, she has been, and at that time, implemented many things showing America's support for democracy. It was her clarity in position to the President Putin, President occupant leader of Russia, that made him turn around and ensure in a illegal way come out against her in her campaign.
What?
Interference in our democracy by Vladimir Putin because Hillary Clinton was the person he feared most in terms of his lack of democracy in Russia. That's, I think, self-evident. So thank you for what you have done.
Okay.
Self-evident, Pat.
And it's amazing how they claim election fraud and it's perfectly natural and normal and mainstream.
Yeah.
The Russians won that election for Donald Trump, because they were so afraid of Hillary Clinton.
They weren't afraid of her to the point where when she was Secretary of State, you love to tell the story where she shows up with that button, that reset button.
Yeah, I love the reset button.
Oh, we've got the audio. You got that wrong.
Let's see if we show that somewhere.
Reset button. No?
Maybe it's just reset.
Reset.
That may be something we'll have to find.
Okay.
Wow. Darn it.
So she goes over there as her first official trip as Secretary of State under Obama. And she has almost like the Staples Easy button, right? And she goes, we had this made, and it's for...
And we worked really hard on finding just the right Russian word. Well, how long would that take?
For reset.
I could Google it and find it in a matter of seconds, but they worked hard. The Defense Department worked really hard. The State Department worked really hard to find just the right words for this very occasion where we're doing this huge ceremony on resetting our relationship with you guys. Here it is. And what does the Russian minister say? You got it wrong. That means overcharge. Okay. All right. Okay.
Oh, the incompetency.
The symbolic reset button didn't go real well. Those are the kind of buffoons we're dealing with, and that's who Russia was afraid of? Mm-hmm. I don't think so. Maybe it's just me, but I'm not inclined to believe that. Also, on 60 Minutes, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene sat down with Leslie Stahl.
This is interesting stuff.
Yeah, it really is. Asked her about some comments that Marjorie Taylor Greene has made in the past about Democrats. I mean, they're not used to this kind of candidate.
And things she says that are over the top, like the Democrats are a party of pedophiles.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I would definitely say so. They support grooming children.
They are not pedophiles. Why would you say that?
Democrats support, even Joe Biden, the president himself, supports children being sexualized and having transgender surgeries. Yep. Sexualizing children is what pedophiles do to children.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Speechless.
What a powerful journalist she is. Right down the middle. No bias. Wait a minute. You can't. How do you take the opposite stand as a supposed journalist? Democrats are not pedophiles. Okay, well, that's your opinion, and it's a strong one for the Democrats, isn't it? I mean, that is a strong statement, that the Democrats are the party of pedophiles.
I'm so grateful to hear someone say it.
Yeah, it's refreshing. And she stands by it. She doubles down on it.
She's a confident woman, that Marjorie Taylor Greene
is. She really is the female version of Donald Trump.
You know what? That was, I don't think that's in the clip we have, but she was asked that by Leslie Stahl.
All right.
And she said, no, I've heard that comparison, but I don't try to be or something like that. I'm my own person. So, yeah.
She was also asked about possibly compromising with the left when it came to getting the deficit under control.
Okay. Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, says that if we don't raise the debt ceiling, that this country will be thrown into an economic and financial catastrophe. And so I'm asking you if you're willing to risk that.
You know what's put us in an economic catastrophe is, again, the people that have spent $31 trillion that forced this situation to happen.
Well, wait a minute. Trump is as much responsible for that as any.
All right. Everybody, Republicans, Democrats.
Okay.
It was all before I got here.
Would you be willing to vote for compromise? In other words, raise some taxes?
No.
I don't think we have a revenue problem in Washington. We have a spending problem.
Thank you.
You know something?
Nice.
That's glib. That's glib. What does that mean? The two sides have to come together and hammer it out.
Pause it for a second.
Both sides.
That's amazing. It's glib because she doesn't agree with it. Mm-hmm. She's got nothing to say about it except that it's glib. It's the truth. Our revenues are higher than they've ever been. We have record-setting revenues year after year after year after year. You got to make do with that. Jeez, it's like in your household, if you make more money than the last year every single year, well, you should be doing pretty well, unless your spending exceeds even the new increase in your income.
And don't forget, the IRS will come knocking too. You make above a certain amount and you'll take even more.
So it's not glib to say it.
No.
It's the truth.
It's the truth.
To say it.
Mm-hmm. Frustrating, right?
Oh, my gosh.
Finish that clip because she's like, cut spending.
See the rest.
Spending.
Where you want to cut it?
COVID bailout money and a lot of green energy spending.
But are you willing to let us go into default?
No. I've always said I wouldn't do that.
So would you compromise?
It depends.
On taxes.
I can't take
You won't.
No, I'm not raising taxes.
I can't take it. What? Obvious tax and spend journalist. She just is on the left side of the spectrum and doesn't even hide it.
When it comes to spending, can I just point out a clip that we didn't pull from Biden's nauseating speech yesterday where it was actually, I think he was whispering at this moment, I cut the deficit, I cut spending. No other president, $700 billion. Well, if you'll recall, one individual stood up to that spending in March of 2020. It was Congressman Thomas Massey. And that voice vote alone, that right there was $2.2 trillion. So if he cut spending by $700 billion, check my math, Pat, is he effectively still saying, yeah, I still jacked up spending by $1.5 trillion because that one bill was worth the $2.2 trillion? It's so dishonest. Shocker when he says that crap. I cut spending. Can we also revisit the Hillary reset snafu in Moscow? Yeah. I did a little thing. Maybe they didn't have it back then. The internet was young, right? They didn't have a thing called Google Translate before they got on the plane to Moscow. So here's if you want to zoom in here, Kayla, here's reset. This is what should have been on the button, okay? All right, that right there. There's overcharge. There's what was on the button. You can see very similar words, but I've highlighted the differences, and there are differences. I don't know how threes get in there, by the way. Isn't that weird? Look at that. So anyway, it's possible to put the correct thing on the button, Hillary. Just these people have always been incompetent.
There's no doubt about that. But, when you just sit back and take it all in one after another, it's there's no words to explain how bad these people are.
I know, we're just living the fun every day here. And Joe Biden's America.
Let me tell you about something you can do about the air in your home. You can reset the air in your home with the Eden Pure Thunderstorm 3-pack. It will help make your home healthy, clean, fresh smelling. It eliminates odors. It kills mold and mildew and bacteria and viruses. The Eden Pure Thunderstorm air purifier uses Oxy technology. So it naturally sends out O3 molecules into the air, and that is what destroys all the pollutants in your home. So if you want something that doesn't just mask or perfume a smell, it gets rid of it, this is for you. It's called the Thunderstorm because it purifies the air like, after a nice rainstorm. And right now you can save $200 on an Eden Pure Thunderstorm 3-pack for the whole home. You get 3 units for under $200, a fraction of the cost of what you'll pay for others. So anytime, anywhere in your home, this will do the job. When it arrives, you just take it out of the packaging, plug it in, and turn it on. So easy. Don't have to change any filters ever. Go to EdenPureDeals.com, put in the discount code PAT, and you save $200. Eden Pure Deals, EdenPure, EdenPureDeals.com, discount code PAT. Shipping is free.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas sat down also with 60 Minutes, where he explained that, okay, sure, maybe our border isn't very secure. But listen to his excuse. This is great.
What the American people see is a border that looks to be chaotic, that looks to be porous.
Well, the number of people that are arriving at our border is at an extraordinary height.
Yeah,
There's
highest
no
ever.
question about that.
Right.
But that is not unique to the southern border of the United States. There is a tremendous amount of movement throughout the hemisphere and, in fact, throughout the world.
Catch that?
Everybody else has problems too.
Back off.
You can't blame us just because we're the most powerful, successful, incredible nation the world has ever known. But other people have problems too.
Bro.
That's incredible.
We're not asking you to protect their borders.
Right. And the sheer numbers that you talked about that's the reason it's so imperative that you do a better job of protecting our border. There are not millions of people massing at other countries' borders. There just aren't. So why don't you focus on America?
Yeah, and when there are millions of people, remember in the past when refugees were fleeing ISIS, going into Turkey so they could enter the EU. Oh my gosh, that was a big story. I was like, oh my gosh, it's a crisis, but it happens every day at our border, and no one in the press cares.
Every day. Is asked about what kind of solutions there are for the border.
Oh, good. We got a solution. Okay.
Is there anything that's off the table that you won't do to secure the border?
Well, the president, as I think you know very well, has said we are not going to construct more wall.
Yeah, why would you do that?
Costs billions and billions of dollars. That is immovable, and that is already beginning to corrode.
Is there anything that's
Oh, man. I thought he was going to say that costs billions and billions of dollars that's already earmarked for Ukraine. Seriously. And don't... when he said that it's already corroding, right? The wall. All I could think of was the Golden Gate Bridge. They kind of take care of that. They don't build a new bridge every few years. They just paint it.
Are you sure?
Right? That's a good point. I'm not there.
Have you been to San Francisco every year and seen that they're not rebuilding it?
You know what? Maybe that's a thing.
Yeah,
maybe
it very well could be.
But it's like the excuses they give.
Incredible.
Look, the wall corrodes, so you can't build a wall. Then just repair it.
It's interesting too that's the only alternative he can think of is the wall. It's off the table.
Off the table.
All right. Well, how about we send, I don't know, military to the border? What would you do then? And point them at that direction, to the south. Okay? I'm not talking about Posse Comitatus!
There it is.
Posse Comitatus!
There it is. Got it.
No, they're not going against our citizenry. They're trying to stop other people's citizens from coming here. Posse Comitatus! Shut up. So ridiculous.
Oh, frustrating as hell, man.
Oh, my gosh.
Every day.
We're going to have to share some more CBS interviews with you. On CBS Sunday Morning, Jane Pauley sat down with Senator John Fetterman. Now, Republicans have been, demanding proof of life for Fetterman. I don't know. Is this it? We'll let you be the judge. Does he prove he's alive here?
Yeah.
We'll get into that coming up in just a few minutes.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where Kamal Apologist tweets, I actually believe that Putin was afraid of Hillary Clinton. At the very least, as a former KGB agent, he has respect for her tactics and success rate.
Oh, man, that's a good tweet.
That can't be a reference to the conspiracy theory about the Clinton death list, can it?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, where they've killed hundreds.
Get from point A to point B.
I don't know. I guess that was quite a leap.
Yeah.
OG Thor, MTG, should have just read Ashley Biden's diary to Leslie. Dems are the pedo party.
Yes. Good job.
Abe Lincoln tweets, what a brilliant economist that was in the MTG interview. Cut spending? What does that even mean?
Yeah.
She actually did say that. It was glib. And what does that even mean? Well, Puddin', it means that we don't spend as much as we did last time. How about that? I know that's a concept that's completely foreign to people like you, but it's been done in the past, the long past, of course, but it's been done. Bob Loblaw tweets, MTG should have asked Leslie Stahl to lead by example and cough up a couple $100,000 to offset the federal deficit.
Yeah, what do you think Leslie Stahl's annual salary is for 60 Minutes?
Do you have it there in front of you?
I do.
Oh, you do? Let's see, 60 Minutes. I'm going to say $4 million.
$8 million.
$8 million a year.
And this website says she's worth $40 million.
Whew. Yeah, she's been doing it a long time.
She could help out with the deficit.
Yeah, she could.
A little bit. That'd pay for like about 30 minutes, right? Maybe.
Yeah, but it wouldn't hurt her a bit. She can afford it. Isn't that what they tell us about billionaires and millionaires all the time?
Yep.
Jimmy Dimples tweets, watching this cavalcade of awfulness, not to be a gloomy Gus, guys, but the apocalypse ain't fun anymore. Hang in there. We're still making it fun. It is almost enjoyable, really.
We got aliens in the news we got to get to. That'll be fun.
Oh, well, let's just start with that since...
oh, really?
Since you bring it up.
Oh. You don't
what
want
exactly?
To tease it? There's several stories there. First, I guess, okay. Can we play the UFO video?
Okay,
Clip 14 there, Kayla? Watch this.
Famous.
Look at that. What is that, Pat? What's that weird thing there flying in the sky?
It's like one of those balloons where they have the open... It looks like part of a balloon that came off... One of those floppy things that just...
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
I thought you were going to say, play it again here. I thought you were going to say it was a bank tube. That it's just like a rogue bank tube that broke free from a bank.
Right.
Drive-through.
It could be that. Do we know what it actually is?
I don't know. I think the story says something. I don't know. But that's not even the most impressive video. Image I think we got there. But what's it say it is? I don't even know.
UFO fanatic and psychic Uri Geller.
Oh, yeah, he commented on this thing flying.
Claimed that this new footage proves that aliens are watching us in order to prevent nuclear war. Oh, okay.
That's what it proves, man.
Right. The legendary spoonbender and his friend Dr. Paharich believe that they were the first individuals in recent times to make contact with aliens.
See?
Geller's Twitter account explains, not long after their first meeting, according to Paharich, they were contacted by Spectra, which is a voice they believe to represent an extraterrestrial intelligence called Hoover. Okay. Now Geller believes that footage shared on his social media account proves that these non-earthly beings are watching us.
See?
He tweeted, astronomers spent decades looking for objects from outside our own solar system. Then... 2 arrived at once.
See?
When should we expect the next one? And what can they teach us? They're watching, making sure no nuclear war is triggered. The video was shot by somebody traveling in a car.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's that tube-shaped object.
Mm-hmm.
So he explained
not
it.
A
Uri Geller has explained it.
No, So is this, by the way, this just arrived in the mail this morning. Thank you to Jules May, Pat Head, who made me this sign. It's a lot better than the one that I had made. It's the Dear Aliens.
Send help.
Send help, yes.
Yeah, I like that.
And so is this now no longer a request? It sounds like they're here. They're now helping. He just said they're trying to stop us from going to nuclear war.
Well, yeah, you can't doubt Uri Geller.
Yeah.
He can bend spoons with his mind.
He bends spoons with his mind.
But
apparently not in an NBC studio, as we learned. Okay, but now this is freaky, man, right? Is this...
Villagers have claimed they witnessed a UFO landing and multiple mini aliens running around before one of them died in the street.
Oh, no.
Dang it.
Bro.
What happened?
It's
maybe that'll be explained.
Smallpox.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Alien smallpox?
No, they got here and their bodies weren't ready for. Well, look at that thing.
There it is.
That's creepy.
A dead alien in the street.
Either that or it's paper mache. I don't know which.
That's got to be a dead alien. You can't fake that. You can't fake it.
Well, so obviously it's in a museum, right?
Well, locals claim to have taken the images of what they say was a deceased extraterrestrial lying in the gutter before it mysteriously disappeared.
Oh, how convenient. I mean, boy, that stinks.
It remains unclear whether a sneaky opportunist removed what they believed was an alien corpse. The mysterious encounter was reported by the rural village of Huarina in the La Paz area of Bolivia. 2 nights before the reportedly dead alien was found in the gutter, residents filmed an eerie green light in the sky they believed was an alien spacecraft.
What other proof do you need?
I think this is enough. This is all we need right here.
So they're here.
So they're in Bolivia.
Mm-hmm.
Local resident Rita Marquez told reporters they were miniature beings.
Okay.
Like those little people who appear to children.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, that little people appear to children? I'm not aware of that phenomenon.
Okay.
UFO expert Juan Carlos Aliaga told local media, they sent me photos of what it was. This being curled up. There it is, curled up. He added that the residents know all about this and said he's going to look into the matter. The local authorities got involved, asking villagers not to say too much about it.
Why not? You could be the center of the universe.
Well, you don't want to create incredible panic that teeny little aliens are visiting us.
Yeah, I think buried in this story, let's not get hung up on the alien baby. It's the fact that there's more of them running around, in quote, in Bolivia.
Yeah. Huh.
I want to follow up. Let's get the guy. I love how the guy's like, yeah, look, I'll look into it. No, what? There are aliens running around your countryside. Can you do
more than that?
Sound a little more interested?
Yeah. Yeah. And why isn't 60 Minutes on that?
Bro, that's a good question.
That's just negligence. Journalist negligence on their part.
Yes, sir.
What could be weirder than UFOs and miniature aliens running around? How about plants that make noise?
How weird is this one? This is some good stuff today.
Plants make sounds when hurt, according to scientists, and now you can hear it.
Oh, boy. The vegans were right. Wait, no, that's not right.
No, that's things with a face, right?
That's right, yeah.
I think they believed that the plants don't have any feelings. That's why it's okay to eat them.
Sorry, the Birkenstock-wearing freaks were right. That's what I meant to say.
Plants have devised many ways to interact with their fellow creatures that humans can appreciate, such as complex fragrances, visual splendor, spiky surfaces, and tasty treats like fruits and nuts. However, they're not especially famous for being noisy. Though scientists have previously recorded botanical sounds by placing devices directly on plants, it's remained unclear whether these acoustic signals carried over significant distance, thereby allowing other species in an environment to listen to the plant world.
Oh, my goodness.
Now they have discovered that plants actually scream when hurt.
No, bro.
Yeah.
Changes everything. We're supposed to just starve to death now.
So you can't eat animals, and now we can't eat plants. What does that leave us?
What does that oh, wait, no. So the bugs fall under the animal category?
I think so, yeah.
So what are we left with, honestly?
Anything with feelings you shouldn't be eating. The study focused on tobacco and tomato plants because these species are so well studied. But the researchers were also able to record sounds from a variety of other plants, such as wheat.
Oh, no, wait.
Corn, cactus, and the grapevine that makes Cabernet Sauvignon.
There's truly nothing left to eat.
You can't even drink wine.
I mean, can't have bread.
No.
Because the wheat gets all sad.
Corn, nothing. There's nothing that is okay to eat. They all make noises when you hurt them.
You got to watch that movie, Fantastic Fungi or whatever, you know. What's the proper way? Is it fungi? Fungi?
Yeah, it was fungi.
Fungi. Mm-hmm. Anyway. Mm-hmm. Mushrooms definitely communicate underground with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not yelling across the yard like, yo, now's the time. Just get up. Go. But they are sending signals underground, yeah.
Okay.
So, but I guess what did it say? Tomato plants, tobacco plants, they yell.
Yeah.
They yell.
And when you hurt them, they scream.
That hurts.
So.
I don't know what to do. What are we supposed to do?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Ho, ho, ho.
Green Giant. So he started the war.
Yeah.
The Green Giant started the war with the plants.
Jeez. Can you eat dirt? Maybe that's what we eat. Does dirt have feelings?
Well, yes, you can have dirt, to answer your question, until they put one of those little tiny microphones down there.
Oh, yeah.
And as you're walking by, you go, ow, 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 ow. You're like, okay, I don't know what to have now.
Incredible. So, all right. We set up this Jane Pauley interview with John Fetterman. Everybody's been asking, where is he? I mean, he's already in a mental institution because he had such bad depression. Mm-hmm. So he had the stroke, and that debilitated him. And we all know how brilliant he was during the campaign, which he won anyway. As soon as he gets to office, he gets severe depression. They got to put him away for a couple of months.
Yeah.
And now he sat down with Jane Pauley.
This is the most coherent he has seen since his stroke. So I do think he's made improvement here. Okay. So now I can't wait for all the legislation he's going to get passed.
Here it is.
As it was described to me, you were agnostic about the question of living or not. at that time.
Yeah, well, I never had any self-harm, but I was indifferent, though. If the doctor said, gee, you have 18 months to live, I'd be like, meh. Okay, well, that's how things go.
A concerned doctor began making arrangements at Walter Reed, and on his son's 14th birthday, he agreed to go. What a waste if you hadn't. Recovery was weeks away.
Look at the monitor.
For the uninitiated.
You see that?
Depression doesn't exist in the same sphere.
Look at that.
As love.
He still needs the monitor.
So
yes,
the question of how can a man not care about living in a world where those children you clearly adore are living.
It makes me sad. You know, the day that I go in was my son's birthday. And I hope that for the rest of his life, his birthday, to be joyous, and you don't have to remember that your father was admitted.
I mean, it shows to be a human, you know?
Yeah.
But he does not have any business being in the U.S. Senate.
No, right. And we can have sympathy for him, and I do. But I also have sympathy for the country and real concern. So let's stop putting people who have cognitively declined, let's stop putting them in office. Could we do that? And of course the answer is no, we can't.
Seems to be a hang-up of the left.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I mean, they've got people who are severely compromised. Dianne Feinstein among them. Why aren't they demanding that she be removed from office? They should be demanding it. The president, we played clips from him today. He's clearly compromised. You got John Fetterman, who showed us over and over and over and over again that he's compromised.
And
you know,
the Eagles are so much better than the Eagles.
No.
That man should not be in public service.
And bless his heart,
Go fix your
go home and
life,
spend time with your children. That would be a really good idea. Go be with your family and don't try to be making decisions for the United States of America.
Yeah. And you've got a Democrat governor in Pennsylvania. Just replace him with another Democrat. That's all we're asking. We're just saying, don't put this guy in there. It's another, the party that loves everyone and wants to take care of everyone. Isn't it amazing how they put these people in office? They get them in office, and the people that are the closest to them clearly don't care about their well-being. You see it with Fetterman's power-hungry wife. You see it with Dr. Joe Biden. Just get out there. Get out there. We need you out there. Take care of these people, man. They don't belong in public service.
You're doing them and the country a real disservice. And, Dr. Jill Biden understands that Joe Biden, she probably understands it. She does understand it more than anyone, how bad he is. And yet, she just keeps perpetrating the fraud that he's fine. He's fine. And you can't even ask her about him being compromised.
Don't even go there, Jake.
Yeah. And, of course, in that case, Jake Tapper just complied. Yeah, okay, I won't even ask you about that. All right, never mind.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry. Let me tell you about a new movie coming out. Pretty sure you're going to want to see it. It's by the same people who made God's Not Dead and Unplanned. It's called Nefarious.
All right.
If you've seen the posters or the trailer, man, it looks great.
Yeah.
It really does.
Premiere for Steve Dace is tonight.
Looks a little scary, too, like a horror film, but it's not. And best of all, it's based on a book by the Blaze's own Steve Dace.
Awesome.
It's more like C.S. Lewis's book, The Screwtape Letters. A psychiatrist is called into a prison to meet with a convicted killer who's about to be executed. Killer says he's a demon named Nefarious, and the psychiatrist, who doesn't believe in God or demons, has to decide if the man's insane, pretending to be insane, or, is it really happening? We won't give it away, but let's just say that the psychiatrist is a little out of his depth. So, Nefarious opens nationwide the weekend of April 14th. Mark the date. Get your tickets now at whoisnefarious.com. Whoisnefarious.com. Go there now.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome to it. Thanks for being with us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Fury and Energy tweets. 60 Minutes. Always coming in with the hard-hitting, unbiased interviews worthy of informing the American populace properly.
That sounds right.
From Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog. Come on, Pat, of course, the alien disappeared. You've seen the documentaries of the Borg. It's true. Star Trek reference there from the Star Trek documentary series. Silent Commander tweets, now we'll have lawnmower symphony screams. Can you imagine when the lawnmower is cutting them up? What kind of sounds they make?
So you won't
Glad we can't hear it, frankly.
Right. So if your neighbor starts mowing too early, right, it's not just the roar of the engine.
Right.
You're going to be hearing the grass in unison screaming next door.
Absolutely. Adrian Slade tweets, do the plants make loud meh sounds like the Egyptian mummy when they're stressed out?
Oh, no.
Or do the plants scream, fun? No, I think it's more like this. More like the Egyptian mummy.
Oh, that would wake me up. A yard full of those.
Yeah. Free Exercise tweets, plants make noises when hurt? That was a Lost in Space episode back in the day. Maureen first realized it. Later, the giant talking carrot appeared to lay their doubts to rest. Who knew this was science? I thought it was just cheesy TV. No.
Giant talking carrot? Do you remember that episode?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't remember
Let's just
that.
see if I can find a giant talking...
This is from the original? Because Netflix redid it, you know.
Okay, no, this is from the original. Here is
a giant talking carrot?
Yeah.
In space?
I guess that's from the...
No. Oh, my gosh.
Hold on, Kayla.
There
he is. What do you mean it can't be?
That can't be a real...
It's absolute... Look, here he is. Now you'll see. Hang on. Here it is.
Wow.
Yeah, a little bit fuzzy, but there you go. See, there they are. Wandering through the wilds.
That's
Carrot
embarrassing.
Town.
That's embarrassing. Wow. Keith's Endless Hat Supply tweets, how many hats do you have, by the way? My oldest son counted his recently, and he has 62.
Oh.
Are you in that?
Are we talking about winter caps and baseball caps? It might.
All caps.
I think he still has me beat.
Really?
Yeah.
It's under 62?
I'd have to go and count. I will say I'm missing 2 right now. I know for a fact I'm missing 2.
Really?
I have it's like an orange and blue buffalo.
But you can't find it?
Can't find it. And I also can't find my red Nebraska Cornhuskers hat.
Oh, no.
It's all dirty and sweat stained. I mean,
we lost it. We
broke
lost
that
it.
one in, and now I don't know where it is.
Shoot. Anyway, from the Endless Hat Supply. If there was ever a reason for Jesus to come back, it would be now. He can turn water into wine and not hurt the grapes in the process.
Bro.
That's a good point.
Way to think outside the box.
Yeah, isn't that great? That's really nice. Ah, man. What a world.
Yeah.
What a world we live in.
And what a disaster world it is with all these tornadoes that we've been having, man. Don't forget mercury1.org if you can donate, because more are coming today. I mean, if you're anywhere east of Texas, kind of up toward Iowa, it's going to be...
And obviously, there is cold smashing into heat.
Insane.
Pretty intense heat for this time of year. We were at, 90 yesterday?
I hit 93 at the homestead.
93. And it's going to be warm again today. Started out 75 or something on the way into work. So anyway, when the cold collides with the hot...
That's getting pulled up to the cold, yeah.
You get severe weather.
Blizzard conditions, up north... Over 30 inches in some parts.
My gosh.
And where are we at? We're global warming central, right? April 4th?
Yeah. Yeah. So that cleanup is continuing for the nation. And, of course, tornadoes just devastated the area. But one Roomba, you know what those are? The little robot vacuum cleaners?
Yes.
Been doing a good job with its cleanup.
Aw, that's good. Look at little helper.
Mabel, takes her job very seriously. She is a good sweeper.
Oh, there it is.
Trying so hard to clean up that mess. So sad.
It's got a ways to go, obviously.
But she's trying.
But there's a homeowner with a sense of humor because you got your house devastated like that, ruined, and you're doing a little joke about the Roomba. Wow. Hats off to him.
Yeah.
And it's going to be tough again today. So make sure that if you live in these areas, in the tornado alley, that you're tuning into the local weather reports and you know what's going on and when you need to take shelter. So we had the video. I think you were gone that day. Was it last Friday, Friday before, whatever, when the meteorologist in Mississippi said that prayer?
Yeah.
Really touching. Yeah. So anyway, pay attention to what your meteorologist is saying in your area. And don't try to film the tornado. Get to shelter.
Yeah, we have good footage. We're good. We're all good on the inside the tornado footage. We don't need any more.
And we all have access to the movie Twister, so if we really want to see, like a cow flying through the air, we can do that already. You don't need to film it. All right? Okay. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Welcome to it. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We were just talking about the weather situation. Do you know that California has maybe their deepest snowpack ever?
Remember, early December, CNN.
No snow.
Ski resorts might have to shut down in California because of climate change. There's no snow. And I said, just hang on a few weeks, and here we are. Oh, my goodness.
Perhaps the deepest snowpack recorded in more than 70 years, and it may be of all time. It's so deep that it currently contains about 30 million acre-feet of water, or more water than Lake Mead, the nation's largest reservoir. More water than Lake Mead. This is the place with the crippling drought.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Uh-oh. I feel a follow-up.
And yet, they can't seem to do anything with this water. It just drains right back into the ocean.
Pathetic.
It's the worst. Why? Because they haven't built a reservoir since, was it 1970?
79.
79.
Yeah.
Okay, I knew it was in the 70s. The bounty has eased drought conditions, but experts warn that the dense Sierra Nevada snowpack will soon melt. And then you're going to get a torrent of water.
God.
What you hope for is that it melts gradually. That it doesn't go up to 105 and stay there for 5 days, because that will cause some flooding. And it won't do them any good because they've got nowhere to put it. What are you going to do with it?
What a stupid state.
You going to catch it in your hands?
If that guy, Gavin Newsom, ever runs for national office.
Oh, and he's going to.
Right. I mean, just pick any policy from California to point to.
Yeah.
And be like,
statewide, the snowpack on Monday measured 237% of normal. 237%. Jeez. The snow water equivalent, or the amount of water contained in the snow, was 61.1 inches. Wow.
That's a lot.
It was deeper than the records set in 1983, which was 227%. 224% in 69, and 237 in 52. So as long as they've been measuring it, this is the deepest ever. I mean, in 1840, did they? Yeah, we don't know. They might have had a deeper snowpack then, but we didn't measure it then, so we don't know. So that's why they say at least 70 years and maybe ever. Is that great?
That is fascinating.
It's incredible. New Zealand's new prime minister apparently doesn't know what a woman is.
It's tough, man. I don't know that his background is in biology.
Oh, good point. Really? They didn't get a biologist as their leader?
Yeah.
That's too bad. Because when the question was put to him, he didn't know what to say.
I just wanted to ask you, given comments by Keir Starmer and Britain, how do you and how does this government define a woman?
Is it really that hard?
To be honest, Sean, that question's come slightly out of left field for me.
Yeah.
Biology,
it's a tough question. It's hard.
Gender.
Gender. Hello.
People define themselves. People define their own genders.
Oh, sweet Lord.
He said that he believes 99.9% of women do not have penises. And I know it's a strange thing for him to say, but given recent events in New Zealand,
hello,
I'd ask again, how do you define what a woman is?
Well, I think as I've just indicated, I wasn't expecting that question, so it's not something that I've
Are you kidding me?
pre-formulated an answer on. But in terms of gender identity, I think people define their gender identity for themselves.
Okay, so we need a team of researchers that would have to go to work and, study this thing out for weeks, if not months. And you expect me to answer this on the spot?
You didn't run this by my staff. I didn't know that you were going to ambush me with a hard question like, what is a woman?
Wow.
Isn't it a fun world we're living in?
I can't even get my head around what's going on right now. I don't know how did we get here?
Well, he's young, though. I mean, he's 44, so he may not know.
You don't know yet.
He
hasn't had enough experience. Is he married to a supposed woman?
That's a good question.
I wonder.
Chris Hipkins.
Unless he's married to a man, and then, he probably doesn't know.
That's personal life here. We got
but you'd have some clues if you're married, I would think.
No, he married his wife named Jade.
Huh, okay.
That sounds like a chick, right?
It does.
And so there we go. 2 children. Wait, hold on. Hold.
So he did marry a birthing person.
Let's back up here. I'm confused. Hipkins and his wife, Jade, were married in 2020. Let's see. He has 2 children. Okay, so I assumed, they had kids and got married later. He and his wife has since separated. That was
already
2.5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Well, when he took extended paternity leave for the birth of his second child in 2018, he was one of the first. Okay, whatever. Oh, Hipkins' nickname is Chippy.
Is it?
It's a diminutive name derived from his initials, but reflective of his upbeat, slightly schoolboyish demeanor. And he is known for his enjoyment of sausage rolls and Coke Zero.
That's great.
And being a good
incredible qualifications for Prime Minister in New Zealand, I'm sure. But, along these lines, people not being able to define what a woman is, Riley Gaines, who's been fighting against all this nonsense, I mean, just outrageous ridiculousness. She was, of course, one of the competitors against Leah Thomas in the NCAA championships and has been outspoken ever since then. She had some comments again about Leah Thomas last night.
My name is Riley Gaines. I'm a recent graduate from the University of Kentucky, where I was on the women's swim team. I proudly finished my career as a 12-time NCAA All-American, a 5-time SEC champion. I am one of the fastest 200 butterflyers of all time. But on March 17th of last year, my teammates and I and other female swimmers from universities around the country were forced to compete against a biological male named Leah Thomas. Thomas was allowed to compete in the women's division after competing as a member of the University of Pennsylvania's men's swim team for 3 years. We watched on the side of the pool as Thomas won a national title in the 500-yard freestyle, beating out the most impressive and accomplished female athletes in the country, including Olympians and American record holders. Whereas just the year before, Thomas at best was ranking in the 400s in the men's category.
462.
The next day, Thomas and I raced in the 200 freestyle, which ended up in a tie. We went the exact same time down to the 100th of a second. Having only one trophy, the NCAA told me that I would go home empty-handed and this trophy would go to Thomas.
Oh, jeez.
And when I questioned this, the NCAA told me that Thomas had to hold it for photo purposes. I was shocked. I felt betrayed and belittled, reduced to a photo op. But my feelings didn't matter. What mattered to the NCAA were the feelings of a biological male. In 1972, Congress enacted Title IX to end unjust sex discrimination in all aspects of education, including college athletics. But by allowing Thomas to displace female athletes in the pool and on the podium, the NCAA intentionally and explicitly discriminated on the basis of sex. Although the NCAA claimed it acted in the name of inclusion, its policies in fact excluded female athletes.
Right.
But that is not all. In addition to being forced to give up our awards, our titles, and our opportunities, the NCAA forced female swimmers to share a locker room with Thomas, a 6'4", 22-year-old male who was fully intact with male genitalia. Let me be clear. We were not forewarned. We were not asked for our consent, and we did not give our consent. If nothing else, I hope you can truly see how this is a violation of our privacy and how some of us have felt uncomfortable, awkward, embarrassed, and even traumatized by this experience. I know I don't speak for everyone. It's impossible to speak for everyone. But I can attest to the tears that were shed on that pool deck by these poor 9th and 17th place finishers who missed out on being named an All-American by one place. Right. And I can attest to the extreme discomfort in the locker room when you turn around and there's a male watching you undress while exposing himself. Oh. I can attest to the anger and frustration from these girls who had worked so hard and sacrificed so much to get to this point.
And what was the response to her feelings about this man in the locker room? Yeah, we're going to get you some counseling. If you're offended by seeing a penis in your locker room, we'll get you some psychiatric help. Would that be good?
It's enraging. Yeah, as James Woods referred to her on Twitter this morning, Woman of the Year. I think that's a good candidate.
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
No doubt about it. Yeah, she's great.
It's not Leah Thomas singing that.
So maybe Helen Reddy can define what a woman is. I mean, she sang about it. So we should ask her. Is she still alive? Helen Reddy's alive, right? So
let's find out here.
That's a new drop to me. I didn't realize.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that either.
I am woman.
Oh, she died in 2020.
Oh no, COVID.
September of 2020. Let's see. Huh. Scroll.
Well, we'll look into that. Meantime, let me tell you about why it's hard to trust anyone or anything these days. Our most important institutions are being systematically destroyed. So, have you prepared yourself for, really bad things that could happen? It's really true, the old saying, hope for the best, but plan for the worst. I think that's a really good way to live. True freedom comes from self-reliance, and you'll be self-reliant if you stock up with My Patriot Supply. They're knocking $200 off right now. Their 3-month emergency food kit. MyPatriotSupply.com. Go there today and get this special price before it ends. Your 3-month emergency food kit provides over 2,000 calories each day for optimal strength and energy during trying times. And best of all, really delicious. They made sure that all of this food was really good tasting food. That it was going to be delicious, in fact, because when things are bad, you think, well, I'll eat a stick if I have to. First of all, probably not. Secondly, you don't have to. You can take care of this and make sure your family is fed through trying times. Take this off your plate. Get that peace of mind. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com. Save $200 on each kit that your family needs. Be sure to get at least one per person. This is a great way to prepare for really hard times if and when they come. And then later, once you've got this out of your way, maybe you plan for a longer situation, like a year. Don't put off your preparedness any longer. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com right now. Get free shipping, too. Remember when, if you were prepared, you were considered some kind of kook years ago? I don't think there's anybody who feels that way. They sure shouldn't. They're buffoons if they think that this is ridiculous. You're never going to need food. I mean, we've seen the supply chain problems lately. MyPatriotSupply.com. Hurry before it's too late. MyPatriotSupply.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right, so Disney had some kind of masterstroke to stay in charge of their own destiny, apparently.
This is so wild, man.
So here's what happened. The fate of the Magic Kingdom may now depend on the United Kingdom. That's interesting. The new board of directors of the Reedy Creek Improvement District, the state government entity that oversees the area where Walt Disney World is located, they found themselves virtually powerless when they took over on February 27th. That's because before those members, who were handpicked by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, before they gained control, the previous board passed a series of restrictive covenants barring the district from using the Disney name without the corporation's approval.
This is so good.
As well as fanciful characters like Mickey Mouse. The real kicker was the length of the declaration, which will expire 21 years after the death of the last survivor of the descendants of King Charles III, King of England.
This is such a fascinating story.
It was a checkmate move from Disney's Bob Iger, and one that Florida plans to fight in court. But in the mention of King Charles, that wasn't just thumbing their nose at DeSantis. It was following the letter of the law. Covenants are required by a concept known as, quote, the rule against perpetuities, unquote, to be tied to the lifespan of some person who's alive when the document is signed, with 21 years added on. That rule saw what was known as the Royal Lives Clause, added in the 19th century since the royal family members tended to live long lives due to their wealth. So, should the covenant hold up in court, Florida's government won't be able to do much beyond maintaining the roads and basic infrastructure until 21 years after the death of the last living royal. The youngest of which, of course, is almost 2 years old. Princess Lilibet of Sussex, the daughter of Harry and Meghan.
This is wild, man. This is so wild.
Kind of, while I'm irritated and disgusted with Disney, you have to stand back and say, well, that was a brilliant move.
Rude. Somebody came up with, in fact...
how'd they do that?
Yeah, DeSantis has sent this on to the Attorney General for the state of Florida to look into. And in fact, I think they're asking for all the documents there at the Reedy Creek or whatever. Mm-hmm. We're going to find out who came up with this idea. This is brilliant.
DeSantis hasn't commented publicly on this. The new board, however, has lined up law firms to fight the covenant. But to succeed, they'll have to show that at least one clause of provision is illegal, invalid, or unenforceable under applicable present or future laws.
Incredible.
If it can't, Disney remains in control.
Yeah, and they don't have to maintain the roads and infrastructure anymore either.
The state does.
It's a win-win if this holds up for Disney.
So right now, Disney is still in charge of this disputed area.
Is it not fascinating?
It is.
I love that stuff.
So do they think Bob Iger masterminded that?
I don't know.
Certainly wasn't that Bob Chapek, was it?
Yeah.
He's a dolt.
And and that Fast Company article that you were reading there says, people thought that, Disney wasn't really pushing back on this, and it just turns out they were keeping their powder dry. Boy, they were. So we'll see how this plays out. This is going to be fun.
And
to watch.
again, Disney sucks, and I think we all kind of know that right now. In fact, have you seen the documentary? I think it's on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet, but it's something about the Despicable Kingdom, or I don't know what exactly, but it's about Disney's fall from grace with, going completely against what Walt would have wanted.
Going woke and going broke.
Yep. So, I mean, that is irritating and despicable on their part, but again, what a brilliant move. I don't know how you even come up with that. Amazing.
That is something.
So, is Florida one of the best places to live in the country?
I've heard that.
We mentioned yesterday that there was a new study out, and it was based on data from the U.S. Census Bureau, the FBI, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and the CDC, in combination with millions of reviews from residents, to come up with the 10 best places to live in the United States of America. And it's based on affordability, local housing markets, neighborhood diversity, because that's the thing I looked for most. All right, is there a perfect balance of white, black, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, Pacific Islander in this neighborhood?
What if you get all of that, but Pacific Islander is eluding you just because it's a lower
then
percentage
I move
chance?
on.
Really?
I move on.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll not have it.
Okay.
Not in my neighborhood.
Well, you've got standards.
You
there.
bet I do.
Yeah, okay.
Area public schools and walkability.
Oh, there we go. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So can you walk somewhere? And here's the 10 best. Let's start at number 10 on the list. Great Neck Gardens, Long Island, New York.
Okay, well, I mean,
surprised by that.
Disqualified by the two words at the end, New and York.
New York. At number 9, Devon, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So these are both cities, municipalities, and neighborhoods.
Who's making this list?
Man.
Some Yankee.
North Quarter in Orlando, Florida. Cambridgeport, Massachusetts. I bet the walkability there is really good. I bet they made sure there was walking paths and maybe even bike paths. City Center, Santa Monica, California, number 6. At number 5, Penn Wynn in Philadelphia. Philadelphia scoring pretty well. We just saw the video from Philadelphia last week. Man, does it look like paradise, doesn't it?
Yeah, right. Oh, that's the word.
Paradise.
I was trying to think, if there's one word to describe the scene of downtown Philadelphia, what would you come up with? And
I'd say paradise.
You just nailed it.
Just as a reminder, do we have that video handy?
Oh, gosh.
If we have it, just
just
not,
throw it up
I
there if you do.
understand. But let's see. At number 4, Spanish Town Creek in Tampa, Florida. Jeffy could comment on that, I'm sure, but he's not here today. Ardmore, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay, all right. This is written...
Philadelphia!
Okay, the Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, no kidding.
Is also has a hand in this article.
Number 2, Colonial Village, Arlington, Virginia. And at number 1, Chesterbrook in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
This is garbage.
There's not a single Texas location on this.
Nothing in the South unless you count Orlando and Tampa.
Right.
They found criteria that would give them the results they wanted, which were northern cities on this list.
Yep.
This is stupid. What a dumb list. I waited all day for that.
I know.
Since you teased it.
And then you get Philadelphia.
I was not expecting this.
Come on.
At all.
I really thought there was going to be, some places in Texas. California is understandable. They got great weather. I mean, it's a beautiful state.
Yeah.
They're letting it go to hell. But there's still probably a few decent places there.
I have 2 thoughts on this, though, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, this is the Northeast that is bleeding population to the South, saying, hey, y'all come up here. It's good. You can walk places and...
Look at the walkability.
And stuff. And that's a good thing, right? Don't you want the end stuff?
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's also, it's going to keep people from discovering places that should have been on that list that are already feeling the effects of being overrun, like Boise, Idaho, Bozeman, Montana.
Yeah, and maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah. So,
Good.
Go to the Northeast. Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, it is paradise. You should move there if you're going to move.
Yeah, that's a good town, that Philadelphia, PA. Am I right?
You're right.
John Fetterman is your voice up there in the Senate.
When you're right, you're right.
Boy,
Then, of course, there's all the neighborhoods where Joe Biden grew up.
I was sort of raised in the Puerto Rican community at home. I got raised in the black church. He knows I'm not kidding. I got my education for real.
For real.
In the black church.
In the black church.
And that's not hyperbole, it's a fact.
Sure.
I probably went to shul more than many of you did.
Right.
Bridge over the Holly River. Look, in Warsaw, or excuse me, Washoe County in Nevada, we're spending $89 billion to add several lanes. and for the Senate seat when I was 29 years old.
Right.
It was because started calling me Joe Bidenopoulos because you think I'm kidding? I'm not joking. I'm not joking
He's not
because
joking,
of the overwhelming support from the Greek American community.
So Greek, Puerto Rican, Black, Jewish.
Yep.
Have I left anybody out? Anything? Wow. He's a well-rounded individual. We know that.
He is Mr. Everything.
All right, we got overtime coming up. And then, of course, we'll see you back here tomorrow on Pat Gray Unleashed.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.